We're all huge fans of Target's new clothing line, and of course we love the occasional Forever 21 t-shirt with "I'm a juicy peach" written in sequins on the back. However, we often don't stop and think about how these crazy styles and fashion nightmares got from the fields to our fingers. Fast fashion is a contemporary term used by fashion retailers to express designs that move quickly from a factory to current fashion trends. In addition to being physically fast to turn over on shelves, fast fashion refers to how rapidly these clothing items are made and sold. Oftentimes, fast fashion is cheap and mass-produced. Sometimes up to 500,000 of a single garment is made and sold in the United States alone. The gender dynamic of fast fashion is one that isn't often felt in the United States, but greatly affects our fellow women overseas. Textile factories employ nearly 100% women, and often young children, at wages far below that country's living standards. For some, the promise of a job and the independence it brings is too much to pass up. But when these women start their new jobs at factories, they're often greeted by unsafe conditions and regular abuse. A large component of what we call sustainable fashion is making sure that workers, specifically women, are paid a living wage no matter where your clothes are made. The belief that companies should look out for their overseas employees is called fair trade, and it's something that is just now becoming trendy in the United States. The employment of women in textile mills, specifically in India, started as a way to ensure cheap labor while also letting women bring home some income to their families. However, in the late 1900s, when outsourcing textiles became a common practice, women in Bangladesh and South Africa were often not the head of their household, a statistic that is very different today, where nearly 30% of homes in developing countries are headed by a woman. The gender dynamic of sustainable fashion and the world's hesitance to accept it goes beyond the women who work for nothing. Men also play a huge role in the resistance of sustainable materials. Animal materials are often the most unsustainable in the textile business. Materials such as leather, fur, wool, and silk are difficult and costly to farm, and are grown in countries where women are expected to harvest these materials. The use of leather is especially tricky when it comes to moving towards a more sustainable closet, as men are the world's highest consumers of leather goods. Many men's clothing is made from leather, as the material is often seen as manly and sturdy, without any regard to the water and resources it takes to grow and kill an animal for its skin. Until consumers begin to be more wary of what they wear and where it comes from, women and children will continue to bear the brunt of the load you need to wear your Target couture.